and hopefully by now you've got your Bootstrap installation set up and working correctly, because in this video we are going to be taking a look at the Bootstrap responsive grid. So I kind of mentioned in the introduction video that Bootstrap is made out of this thing called the 12 column responsive grid. And you can basically think of this as a table. So in other words, we've got a table with 12 columns, and we can choose how many rows we want to have in our website, right? So the more rows we have, the longer our website gets from top to bottom. But width-wise, we always have 12 columns. So on a desktop, we have really large columns, and as the phone or as the screen scales down to the size of a phone, then we get 12 columns that are actually really narrow. And I will be explaining all of that. But basically, whenever we use these 12 columns, we can choose how many columns we want to use at a time. So we might have a banner that will take up all 12 columns, and we can do that. And then there might be times where we want a left side to our website and then we want a right side to our website. So we can create a row with 2 columns that take up 6 columns each, or 2 divs that take up 6 columns each. Then there might be times where you actually want to have your content on your site 8 columns wide, and then you'll have a sidebar with like adverts or maybe a navigation or something like that, that is 4 columns wide. And that's the great thing about Bootstrap, is we've got all these different options that we can choose to use whenever we are using the Bootstrap grid. Okay, and as that scales down, you'll notice that the columns actually get a lot smaller on mobile. So what happens is whenever we get to a mobile site, we actually stack all of those columns. So instead of having a left side and a right side, they'll appear underneath each other, or they'll appear stacked is the word I'm trying to use. Okay, and the same thing with the content and the sidebar. Once the screen gets too small, we'll just stack the sidebar underneath the actual content. So the way we actually choose our website to display differently on a computer to a phone is that we actually use these things in Bootstrap called breakpoints. And Bootstrap actually gives us 4 different breakpoints. So we have a large breakpoint, which is for a widescreen computer or a widescreen laptop. And that would be pretty much most people using computers. But then we also have this medium breakpoint, which actually fits those older square monitors that you used to have on a computer. So back in the days when I was like 12 years old and I used to play computer games on the old square monitor, that's pretty much what we would have, or what we would be using in a medium breakpoint. Because apparently people still use screens that are that width, which is really weird because I don't see them very often anymore, and I live in Africa. So I don't know, if people are using them in the States still and we're not using them so much here in Africa, things are a little bit weird, right? But or at least the way the story that America tells us of like, oh, America's more advanced than the rest of the world. But like, what? No, yeah, okay. That's enough rambling about America. But then we also have small breakpoints, which would be your iPad or any other tablet. So basically that breakpoint's there to fit tablets. Then we have an extra small breakpoint, which is there for your iPhone or your Samsung Galaxy S5 or any other phone that actually supports HTML5, right?